Identification of a problem. As discussed already, the starting point of social sciences research is based on the identification of a problem. We need a problem for our research work, and if there is no problem, then there is no research, right? So in social sciences, we need problem, and we would definitely go for the solving of that problem as the part of our research study. So the identification of a problem is a very crucial step, and it is the first and the most crucial step in our research within social sciences, right? So in order to identify a problem, we must be able to define the problem in its very exact nature, right? And on the basis of that exact nature and the dimensions of that problem, we would be able to identify a problem. We must be able to explore that what is the nature of that problem, right? What type of problem it is, and then what dimensions are there which are the part of this nature of the problem. The identification of the problem would determine that what is our area of research, right? What type of research it is going to be, right? Like what sort of data collection is required. So that is just on the basis of the identification of the problem, right? Like for example, your problem is related to the perception of people. Would you like to study that problem in its really like the original realistic context, right? So if that is the case and you want to study in a natural setting, right, in a very natural context, and you want to study people and their attitude or maybe their insight, their feelings or their experiences, so that would determine that your study is of a qualitative nature, right? So your identification of the problem would definitely determine that what kind of study it is and what is the study field, what is the research field. And then that identification of the problem would definitely make you and let you understand the area of research or the mastery of that particular area, right? So that is an important point in the identification of the problem, and it is actually the basis for your literature survey. That how would you use literature, the existing literature which is there available with you, and what kind of research you would survey, what type of existing literature is required, the latest, the recent version of literature related to which priority you are supposed to explore. So that is totally up to the the nature of problem. So the identification of the problem is really important in any research, right? The more we know the nature of the problem, the more we would be specific towards our survey of literature and research tools and the area of research and the field of research and the kind of research, because these are the points which are related to the identification of the problem. Then we would also know that what's the priority area of research, what we are going to study, and then we would be providing definitions for the for describing the problem, for the the understanding of the problem. We may need definitions, and we may also need analogies. We would definitely need examples for the understanding of the problem. So that is something which is the part of the identification of the problem. And the identification of a problem is definitely related to the to pinpoint specific aspects of that problem, right? That what specific aspects are to be recorded. What are the crucial important points of that problem which must be known? And that is the problem statement, which is the part of problem statement, okay? So we need a problem, and we must be identifying that problem. Now, from where could we just see a problem? From where could we have a problem, right? So there are, various sources which can provide us with problem, and where we can encounter a problem. And that problem could be the topic of our research study, right? So the first point which should be in social sciences is your personal experience, right? So whatever issue, whatever problem, or whatever a shortcoming you find in your experiences, that should be the starting point, okay? So your personal experience is point one for your problem finding, right? How would you find a problem? how would you select a problem? That must be, coming from your own experience, right? Then there are some other sources, of course, from where you could have your research problems. Like, for example, you may be studying literature, and you may be finding some problems mentioned by others, right? In studies which are carried out by others and which are the part of your available research literature, right? So that could be, studies available in literature. And then you may also think about some innovative, ways of teaching and learning and, aspects of your life where technology is involved, where innovative models are involved. So you can study them. Like, for example, the technological changes, how are they changing your own classroom? How teachers are coping with this incorporation of technology within class, right? And how technology is incorporated within this modern classroom. So you may be just thinking about these innovations, which are the part of your profession, which are the part of your, field, your expertise. So you may be thinking about innovations, and then discussions with your colleagues and with your professional bodies may also give you some clues about some research problems, right? Because, in discussions, we always have these burning issues. So the burning issues or the points which are, discussed by the experts, they could give you some problems to explore, right? So professional circles and communities may also be giving you points to discuss and problems to find. And there are some other, secondary sources like research publications and reports, research reports, or professional reports, annual reports, progress reports, or maybe some sections of these reports, like the discussion part of a research, maybe, or the conclusion part of a research, or the recommendations part of a research. So these are the points where you could just explore, and you could have, problems. You may be coming across some problems which could be your topics for further research studies.